reporting from Tri-Cities Community Television in the downtown Port Coquitlam Lee Square. Lee Square Studios is actually an active art gallery. It's the Michael Wright Art Gallery, and every month they have a different exhibition. We recommend that obviously you come down and check out this art gallery when we are not in the studios on our Sundays once a month. Today we are continuing our story about knowledge workers, and today we have a very young knowledge worker who has basically developed his own application at a very young age of 16. I'm sure now you're 17 now at this point?
I'm 16 still.
16 still, so that's a great. Can you just tell us, Nirvon, a little bit about your application and sort of and what it's all about and how it came about?
Well, the idea for my application came when I was 14. I was using my phone and exploring the apps all in it, but I ran across the web browser and I thought, this is not the technology of 2014. This feels like a decades-old technology. It didn't feel polished. It didn't feel new, easy to use. So I decided to develop a new web browser that is both easy to use and intuitive and very secure. And that's how I began working on Mint Browser. I wanted to make something that was the next best thing and great for all kinds of people, like students or just the average web surfer.
So, I mean, I have ideas that I want to make something, but obviously I can't hammer a nail or I can't do all these things, and so I hire people to help me with that. But so you may want to build some technology, but how do you go about the process of doing that?
Well, the great thing about software is you could do it just by being a solo individual. And the way I approached it is a web browser needs graphics, for example, buttons on the bottom, the web engine and all that. So when you start programming, the best thing to do is just practice, experimentation. When you're learning programming, you could just maybe switch the code around and try different things, and that's how I learned programming myself. And when I started developing Mint Browser, I just developed a layout of how it was going to work, what was it going to look like, and how would the UI look like. And my big philosophy on that is simplicity. Whenever you develop an app, it could be super simple or very sophisticated. It just depends on your own approach.
And you've obviously kept it very focused to one platform. So it's not on the iPhone; it's on the Android system.
Correct.
And
currently, it's on the Android. Yes.
Yeah. And so, how does it feel to have an app that you've created, and you have a patent pending? So a little bit, you've got a patent around this technology.
Correct.
And now you're, in a sense, you're a CEO of your own company, which is a beta tap. So how does that feel to have that sort of to make your own company and then also be the CEO of that company?
Well, ever since I was young, I've always wanted to change everybody's life, just have an impact on everyone. And when I developed my own app and my own company, it made me very happy because I felt like I was going towards my goal. I had put my first step towards achieving it. And every day that passes by, I still feel like a beginner, and I'm always working on my journey and improving people's lives.
So some applications, you can create them and they're free. Obviously you have a free version of your software, but there's also, for a very expensive rate of $1 or something, you can buy the premium edition. And really, what are some of those key features you think are helpful for the person that may want to download this application?
Well, the normal version of Mint Browser, it's very easy to use. In normal browsers, if you want to access your bookmarks or history, you would have to click a button here and go there. The navigation is too sophisticated, in my opinion, because when you're browsing, you want to focus on the web. You don't want to get lost in the controls. And the way I designed it is to make it all on one screen. You just swipe from the left, you can see your bookmarks and history. And if you swipe from the right, you can jot down notes. And from my perspective, that is great for students because I know whenever I do research on the web, I would have to go to my note app, copy some notes down there and go back, and it just feels too distracting. But with my approach, all you have to do is swipe, jot down notes, and look at the web. It all works great.
And the feature that I like is the ad blocker. I hate those ads, so it seems to be a no-brainer, but the fact you have a secure, I guess, browsing in the sense of, or I guess it's ghost browsing, or no one knows what you're doing. And the second thing is you got an ad blocker in there, so you're not going to be stuck with a lot of these. I know when I buy a phone, next thing you know, I'm seeing lots of phone ads pop up on my computer.
Correct. And another great feature is if you get the Pro version, you can sync your bookmarks and notes across your devices and even private ones. the way I designed it is the cryptography works across your devices. So you can have confidential notes and bookmarks on one device, and when you go to the next one, it'll be all synced up perfectly.
So what would you say to young people out there like yourself who, are kind of thinking, I could make an app, but it's nothing's going to happen, or being in a business is too difficult, or like, what would you say to them out there?
Be yourself. Don't worry about what other people tell you. For example, some might say, oh no, just take an easy approach, don't approach this. The only limits we really create is our own. There is no limits to knowledge and learning. If you want to make an app, then do it. There's nothing stopping you. And it's always great to come out of your own comfort zone and see what the world is really like and exploring all these fields.
So, and how can we find, if you want to download your app, it's on Google Play, I guess?
Google Play, and you can go to mintbrowser.com.
Well, thank you very much. We're your inspiration, obviously,
Thank you.
to build an app and actually have it out there and selling it and being your own CEO. So, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So again, we're just learning here that there are some knowledge workers in the Tri-Cities that are, obviously working for companies in Toronto or across the country. But also we've got some young folks who are definitely leading the way in what technology can do for not only their lives, but the lives of other people in our community. This has been Patrick McCarthy reporting with Tri-Cities Community Television.